Good evening, Joy, and thank you for having me tonight.
It's a pleasure, and thank you for honoring our invitation and joining us this evening as one of our esteemed speakers. Yeah,
Thank you.
great,
Thank you.
awesome. Yeah, the most famous question I would like to know, and also our viewers, now, who is Derrick? Yeah.
Okay, my name is Derrick Ndzavani in full, and that's the name that across all the social media. That's where you can get me. I'm currently the managing director for Institute of Business Advisors, Southern Africa. I'm married to one, although I needed two, so religion would not agree. Hope she won't be watching.
Conversation
Yeah,
for
but
another
yeah,
time.
I've got one daughter, and who is the heir to my estate. I have to emphasize that because when we had her, she said, "Is there no other child?" I said, "No, you are the only child." She said, "Now I'll get married." I said, "No, bring a good son-in-law who's going to take over."
Yeah.
That's it, you know. But I had to make it clear with her every day that you are not a woman to me. You are a person that is going to be responsible,
Yeah.
not just a woman. So I think she accepted that, and she knows that whatever that I have belongs to her.
Wow.
And I'm proud of that. Yeah, and I've been in the industry of business advisory mentorship for 24 years now. Yeah, I have been doing that and worked with different institutes and government institutes. And yeah, and met with the Roches of this world and the Venus of this world, you know, on the journey. But also that for me was to realize that we don't need 6 degrees of connection now. It's now 1 degree. So you just need a social media to click and connect with people. Yeah, but other than that, I'm a Christian, a born-again Christian. I go to church every Sunday. I don't preach, but I'm just serving as an usher, by the way. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. Some few takeaways from your introduction. I mean, the first one with your daughter. How old is she?
My daughter now is 21.
21.
Yes.
I don't know if you've read a book by Chimamanda. We should all be feminists, you know, and so it describes what you've just said in terms of you just don't see her as your daughter, right? And I also had a lot of conscious parenting, you know, in that, you know, which is kudos to you, with regard to that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, in a nutshell, can you just take us through your career? You know, where did it start, and where are you now?
Yeah, I actually started in Limpopo, the place I'm proud of. Actually, that's where I was born. Grew up there, and went to school there, and I did business management. You know,
where in Limpopo? I'm a Limpopian as
Limpopo,
well.
yes, and I say this also always to people to say. When I started, I did business management at a TVET college, right? And I had to advance after that. But that is my base. That's why I'm still connected to the TVET college today, because I see myself as a product, you know, from that angle. So when I came to Joburg, I think I came in 1996. And I arrived here and I was looking for a job. And they said to me, look, the only job you can get quicker is to be a security personnel. I said, I'm not here for that. I'm here to do the job that I studied for. So I got a Transnet. They hired me immediately. And after that, I worked with Transnet for almost 4 years or so. Then I moved to Discovery Health, where I was working the business unit. And I think it was one day I was sitting at Discovery Health, and here comes this young man passing. And they said, that's the ode of Discovery. I said, no, it can't be. So why am I here? So I have to resign. And I resigned, by the way. Yes. And then I said, I'm going to start my own consulting as a business advisor. And I registered a company. The name of the company is New Discovery. Yes.
It's the pun, yeah.
Exactly.
No pun intended.
Yeah,
right?
no. New Discovery BS, Business Solution. So that's the company I registered. Because I said, I just want to be like that man, you know, because I need to hire people also. I need to employ people. And it started very well, and I was so happy. And, by then, you would say, how do I get started and all that? But it became more a learning curve, because you had to learn how to do it. You had to learn to make mistakes, and then to where you get to a point where you can say, you know what, now at least I can do it better. But let me say that the explosion of my career, or the business that I've been doing, came when I joined social media. Yeah, because that's where you can talk to anybody. That's where you can engage and connect with everybody. And I think that's when my work got recognized with, the embassies, the likes of your government, agencies, to where I am now. Because for me to be heading the institute was when I had to use the skills, and to work with the institute for quite some times until today. But yeah, that's where I am. And I think I'm at a space where I can say I'm happy.
I can tell. Actually.
Yeah, but not that I should have been the winner of the 100 million lotto. But I looked at it, I was like, why would I desire to win 100 million when I can make 100 million?
Yeah. I like that. I like
honestly,
the mindset.
Yeah, because
I do.
For me, it's that, what is it that I need to find out, to explore, to be able to make that money, than to desire to win it.
Yes.
Without having worked for it. So that's where I am.
That mindset. Yeah, great.
That's where I am. Yeah.
Awesome. You've mentioned a couple of things, and I mean, one of them when you saw the owner of Discovery, and something stirred you inside to say that, no, man, I really want to go, leave this place and start my own business. And I'm curious to find out what was the compelling reason that made you to take such a move.
He was parking a Porsche, and when you're still starting, you are walking. Then when you get to the gate, they have to open for him, and he just says hi. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's how life is. Yeah, but I think over and above that, for me, it was a passion to help people. To say, how do I use what I know to help people, but mainly the Black society, the Black community, because I think you'll agree with me that there was a time where if you need business advisor, you had to be referred to a lawyer. Yep. Yeah, to say, no, go and see those guys, they will help you and all that. But at the end of the day, it was a question of, can they help you to the point where you can, and all that. So I think that is what propelled me to say, I want to do something. But when I recall back, I would realize that even at school, I would have this thing of doing a business plan, and I did a business plan about a hair salon at school. Yeah. And I remember when I started to do the mentoring and all that, I said, I need to put it to practice. I need to start something that can show that I can do it myself, because I cannot just teach and not do it. And I started not as hair salon, but what I did is I went to Revlon. I said, Revlon, give me your products. I want to sell them in the townships. And then I put them in the boot of the car. And I think that year I made a lot of money, from that, selling those products, So, but for me, it was to practice, to see that if I teach about it, can I practice it, And and as I go, I develop some products and all that. But when I look back, I think I would have tried over maybe 15 businesses. And a lot of them, you know the story. Some they go down, and some they kind of, So yeah, but you keep on moving on.
But that's the journey of life, right? It's like the yin and the yang, right? Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's a journey of life. But what we need to understand is, it's not about the business you start. It's the value you put into what you want to achieve in life. You see, if you tell yourself, I want to earn, let's say, 100,000, it may not be through the business. It can come through consulting. It can come through. So you need to find a way to say, what I desire to own or to have, how do I get vehicle to achieve it? And I realized that from mentoring, when I started, I know a lot of people would say, but how do you make money from this? But if today now I say, I've got over 2,000 business advisors in South Africa that I need to make sure that they do their job right. And that also becomes a revenue for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and which I'm still open even now, to say, if you feel like you need a board member, I'm available, please. Yeah, so.
Love that. I mean, within the context of mentoring, And especially in those days, when you started, I mean, these days is such a buzzword, right? Like coaching, and mentoring, and you've started like way, way back, right? And thank you for being one of the people who played a role, within that space, and the community. The other thing I'm picking up from your outlook towards life and personality is that you are a risk taker. You do take risks. Don't know whether should I say calculated risks. You've mentioned some of the failures, that you've experienced, as well as that the biggest blunder. We really want to know that what is that one blunder that you've experienced, and what are the lessons learned from that? Yeah, so that others can learn.
I think for me the biggest blunder when I look back is that I would have wanted to be a lawyer, right? And I would have used the opportunity to study towards that. Because whatever that I'm doing now has to relate to that. But there is this thing, a ceiling that you reach sometimes. Whatever you do, there is where you feel like, if I had this, I should not be paying for that. If I had this, had I known that being a lawyer then, it was not about standing before the magistrate and, present your case, but you can still be a commercial lawyer.
Yeah.
I would have pursued that. But that doesn't mean that the dream has died down. Yeah. No, I'm still looking at that to say, how do I fix that? But I believe that had I pursued what I wanted to be, a lot of things would have happened smoothly, a lot of opportunities. But again, I look back and say, what if I was going to be this lawyer, then I would be your, like, I'm not talking bad, please, to those who are watching, but sometimes it pains me when I see a black person who's a lawyer but struggling. Because the only story that they can be told is that they are dealing with RAF and they are dealing with your, applying for bail, and that's it. Then the case is handed over to somebody else. My concern is, can't we have blacks who can excel and be at a position where they can make money, where I can consult in Sandton with them and go into the posh office and sit down with them and then consult there, than to just consult anywhere because now I'm just a lawyer and all that. So I believe that in every profession, there has to be that integrity, there has to be that professionalism that we have to adhere to. So when I look back, I was like, you know what, if I was a commercial lawyer, I would be a lawyer for Discovery, I would be a lawyer for any other company. But that for me, I would say that's the blunder that when I look back, I say, I should have achieved something out of that.
Yeah, thank you. So what are some of the things when you pause and you look back within your business, you say, if I did commercial law, I could have done this and that different. What are some of those things that you think?
I would have sued a lot of people who owe me.
I think it's a pain for most business owners, right?
I would,
that is a pain for most business
I would
owners.
not be sitting with debtors.
Yeah.
No, I would not. Because I would just craft, a nice letter to say, within 7 days, please make sure that you respond. Failure, which you must know that there will be someone that follows, So, but for me, I think it's more on the ease of doing business from the legal point of view, because whether we like it or not, a lot of things that we do in business, they attach to legal. Because whether you like it or not, you're minding your own business, and then you get someone to say, your employee, they are suing you, or your employee, they filed with CCMA and all that. But if you know how to correspond properly, it would have been easier for me to run the business properly, But also, I believe that it is more about understanding the legality, because business is about legal. And you don't have to consult, you don't have to rush. But also when you constitute the board, if you look at a lot of successful companies in South Africa, you'd find that most of them are run by CAs. Some of them by lawyers. Some of them you find that they did not even practice. But for the fact that you've got that signature that you can put in a paper, you don't have to wait for somebody, then you can achieve something.
Yeah, great, awesome. So let's talk about the mentorship space. Let's just pack what you've just spoken about, and then go to the mentorship space. That within that space, what are some of the things that you've picked up in there that are like the pains within the society, especially the Black community that you're passionate about, and what's your footprint within that space?
I think what I've observed is that in most cases, as businesses, we have doctors that we consult with, right? You go to a doctor, they say, you suffer from this. If you're not happy, you can walk to the next doctor and check with them and say, oh, okay, I suffer from this. Let me seek for second opinion. In most cases, most of us as entrepreneurs, we don't do that. No. And we sometimes even treat business advisory as a casual thing that I want to do. Dr. Roach, I want to see you. Oh, yeah, you can see me, come and then sit with him for 1 hour. And then after an hour, it tells you what you need to go and do. But you don't go and do what it said you can do, right? And then from there, things don't go right, right? And then from there, you still look for him. But because you know you did not pay him, you promised him that I'm going to send you a check. I'm going to send you, you know, and he even prepared the invoice. But you don't pay for that. And then from there, you can't go back to him, right? And then from there, you end up consulting in that, you know, to different people because all that you need is a solution. But also what I've picked up is that most people, when they come, you'll find that it's not about that I need an advice. No. Some of them, they need funding, not an advice. No. It's not about an advice.
And I think it's a huge percentage, right?
They need money, you know? And when you come and you need money, but you say to me, no, I need an advice. And then while you are in the process, then the question comes and say, where can I get 100,000? It's like, 100,000, yes. Go to the bank and apply for that. I don't have 100,000. I don't deal with that. All that I'm here is to advise you to say from where you are now, how do we take you out of the drowning and put you nicely and then prepare you so that we don't have a bridge there, but we need now to teach you how to swim across. So those are the things that I've picked up. And sometimes I would encourage that as an entrepreneur, try to get somebody that would be your advisor, right? Not necessarily a role model. No, let it be somebody that you can have a relationship. If they don't do it right, tell them straight that we are not doing it right. But obviously, you need to have your timelines. You need to have your milestones that you have to set. To say, what is it that I want to achieve? The first question I ask everybody that I sit down with is, how much do you think you're worth? That's the first question. Because if you can tell me how much you're worth, then I will know how much you want to make for us to achieve the results that we are looking for. If you tell me, no, per month I want to earn probably 100,000, I know already that you need to make 2 million for you to earn that money. You know, so these are the things that as you teach and advise, but also it will help you to understand that, listen, hang on, you're going to start now, but you won't earn what you have been earning. You must know that for a business, you have to build it to a certain point where you can start earning. Therefore, be ready to go through hardship. Be ready to lose your house, be ready to lose your car, until such time that you can get to a point, the turning point. Because sometimes we need to understand that when we talk about your break-even, it's not about money only, but it's the break-even even your emotionally. To say, can you turn around now and look at life differently? Thank you.
Oh, wow. Vina is on my case, you know, saying 2 minutes left, you know. You've just touched, you know, into an area that I'm very passionate about, coaching, you know, as well. That, you know, going back, you know, might be familiar with Simon Sinek, you know, the golden circle, saying that you need to start with the why. You know, why do you want to be in this line of business, and how are you going to do it, you know, and what exactly is it that you need to do? And most people, you find that, you know, they don't really go through that process. And I saw some sisters there that was, we were talking about, you know, the reposition of stuff that, you know, it resonated as well. You know, that's part of, the, you know, entrepreneurial journey. But here you are, you know, you can have a conversation with Derrick during the break. So 3 things as we wrap it up, you know, from your 24 years journey in your field, that you say that I know for sure that as entrepreneurs, you know, and corporate people, you do this, then you're setting up yourself for success. What are those 3 things?
I think for me, what is very key is a lot of entrepreneurs, we don't optimize collaboration. We don't. You can come here today, but you can walk away out of here without having signed a deal or closed the deal with somebody. For me, it's very important to understand if this person says they are in this industry, how can I tap into that market? What can I do with them? Because either way, what we are looking at is that you as an entrepreneur alone, you don't have board of directors. You don't have a team capacity. But if you can, from this room and say, who can I network with for the purpose of my destiny? Who can I talk to make sure that the reality is, I tell people always, be focused every time. Focused means that you need to know what color you are wearing inside you.
Yeah.
Not to know it the night before to say, I'm going to wear this color. But while sitting here, you don't have to think twice what you're wearing, because that shows focus and concentration. But also, it means that if you take my number today, will you call me tomorrow? Some, they take the number and say, let's hook up. You know, hey, social media, you know, I'll follow you, I'll check on you.
Yes.
And after that, what happens? You have to, nothing happened.
Yes.
But guess what? The time, that silent moment, you remember when they said there was a silence in heaven for 30 minutes or for 1 hour or so?
Yeah.
That silence, you'll find that you have lost a deal that nosy in the mining may have for you.
Yes, yeah.
But because you did not optimize that, and you did not even you did not concentrate. When people introduce themselves, concentrate.
Okay.
Because these are the people you need people to get somewhere. You can't get somewhere without people.
Okay.
That for me is because for me even to be where I am today, I'll tell you. There was an MD. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you next time because I want you to invite me. Thank you.
Yeah.